So I broke down and I eventually ended up watching The Force Awakens for the first time. And oh my god, it is so goddamn hilariously stupid. I could not, like I've seen the videos and I've heard the complaints. I did not know it was this goddamn hilarious. I don't know why you guys are pissed. This is hilarious. I wish I could make a video showing the movie and then just kind of like pausing and going, this is how this is stupid. This is how this is stupid. But I'm gonna have to do it this way. There are two things that I want to talk about to start off with that are just mind-blowingly amazing. One of them is actually at the beginning, which is after Kylo Ren kills the old man, and then Poe, I can't remember his last name, but Poe fires his blaster at Kylo Ren. And then Kylo turns around and force stops the blaster bolt in midair. Now here's the thing. It's not that Kylo Ren was watching Poe and getting ready for the attack. Poe fires, Kylo Ren turns and is so force sensitive and so fast that he was able to, after the shot was fired, was fast enough to turn around, react, and stop the blaster bolt in midair. And I'm watching this and I'm going, Jesus H. Christ, how powerful is Kylo Ren? How force sensitive is this guy? This guy's like, this guy's like either on Yoda's level or beyond, because at the best, I think Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back, during that surprise little dinner scene, when Han Solo fires the blaster at him, all Darth Vader does is basically stop the blast attacks with his hand, right? But Kylo Ren is literally fast enough and force sensitive enough to be able to react faster than him firing and still being able to force stop the blaster bolt. And I'm going, holy crap, this is amazing. But then the most amazing thing happens. Kylo Ren turns and starts talking to Poe. How you doing? What you doing? And I'm going, whoa, wait a minute. He doesn't even have to concentrate on keeping the blaster bolt suspended in air. He can just kind of like, oh yeah, I did that. I can just leave that for whenever. And then, so not only that, while he's actually using the portion of his force powers to still keep the blaster bolt suspended in midair, he's then using his powers to kind of read Poe's mind. And I'm good, this guy's multitasking while doing one of the most goddamn amazing high-end level force powers that I know of. And then I realized, oh my god, J.J. Abrams has no goddamn clue what he's doing. He has no idea how the Force works. I thought the midichlorian stuff was bad. But J.J. Abrams actually thinks you don't even need to concentrate on using your Force powers. Just like, oh yeah, I'm doing that. Pause, and I'll get back to you later. It was like, oh my god, he has no goddamn clue what he's doing. And I ended up, and I watched it, and I actually went online to, find people discussing this, and there are pages and pages of people rationalizing how the blaster bolt was able to stay in midair. And it's like, because J.J. Abrams he's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. Why are you people analyzing and defending and trying to figure out how the most stupidest aspect of this force power is even... You want to know why the blaster bolt was able to stay in midair? Because J.J. Abrams has no goddamn clue how the Force works in Star Wars. He's an idiot. And it was just, then we have the Starkiller Base. Oh my God, did I love the Starkiller Base. I could not stop laughing the entire time the Star Base was explained on how it worked. Okay, so let me see if I get this straight. Okay, we have a planet-sized Death Star, right? How is it powered? How do they power the weapons? Now, if they had never explained how they powered up how they powered the weapon, it would have been fine. But they actually explained how they power the weapons. They absorb a sun to power the weapon. Until it's gone. Here's the Starbase Killer. Okay? Here's the Starbase Killer. Here's the sun. Okay? This little Starbase Killer is going to somehow absorb the entire sun into the Starbase Killer to fire the weapon. I'm no astrophysicist, but I don't think that works the way you think it works. That makes no sense. You were absorbed, and not only that. Let's say for the sake of argument, it does. One, you just eliminated a sun. Wouldn't every planet within its orbit would just simply fly off? So like, there's no sun. The gravity. Not only that. How wouldn't this? And I'm thinking it's a little starbase compared to a sun, and I'm going, how long would it take for this little starbase killer to absorb a sun? What? Couple of 100 years? Nah. Hardly a problem. Barely an inconvenience, right? 20 minutes. It took them 20 minutes. Because from when they started, it was like maybe 10 minutes or whatever. Then after Han Solo gets killed, Rey goes, they're gonna fire the weapon in 10 minutes. First of all, how did you know this? Like, how did Rey know it was gonna take 10 minutes? What did she date one of the engineers and he kind of explained how it went? Did she kind of like read the technical manual off screen? How the hell did she know it was going to take minutes? She doesn't know. J.J. Abrams obviously has no goddamn clue. Yeah, it's going to take 10 minutes. And my first question was, how the hell did you know? So anyway, take the first few minutes that, again, maybe 10 minutes or whatever, plus the 10 minutes she says that it's gonna fire. It took a Starkiller Base 20 minutes to absorb the entire sun. Now, here's why I said if they hadn't explained how it worked, it would have been fine. So, to power the weapon, okay, you have to absorb the sun. So, my question was, what's powering the engine that allows the weapon to absorb the sun? What's powering the Starkiller Base, or the engines, or the turbines, or the mechanisms that's causing it to gravitationally pull the sun into it? No idea. That apparently doesn't need a power source, but the weapon does. It was like, oh my God, you have no idea what you're doing, JJ. Then I'm going, okay, so wait a minute. If it's a mobile, it's obviously got to be a mobile base, because it can't just stand. It can't. It's not like it can be orbiting the sun, because then once it destroys the sun, it's just gonna fly off into space. So it's got to have, I guess, rocket engines or rocket boosters to be able to fly it through space. What's powering the rocket boosters to allow it to fly through space? No, it doesn't. It needs the sun to power the weapon, but it doesn't need energy to draw the power from the sun, and it doesn't need energy to, have it travel through space. It's like, oh my god, you are so goddamn stupid. Now again, I know it's a fantasy, sci-fi, and I get that, except you took the time and effort to explain that you have to absorb a sun just to fire it once. Just to fire it once. That's what. Again, because it can only fire once after it absorbs the sun, and apparently it can destroy a galaxy. Well, again, obviously because it's, but they use it to destroy 5 planets. that you used up an entire sun so that you could destroy 5 planets. How did any of you take this movie seriously to get pissed? I don't get it. I really don't. Because from the first scene with Kylo Ren using his force powers to stop, the blaster bolt, it was like, it's all downhill from here. He has no goddamn clue what he's doing. Also, one other question. Does the Starbase Killer have lightspeed capabilities? Because I don't know much about the technical aspect of the lore of Star Wars, because I don't really know much of the expanded universe or read any of the technical books. But would the Starbase Killer actually be able to have lightspeed capabilities? Because if it doesn't have lightspeed capabilities, it's going to take a while before it gets to another sun to fire again. I'm just saying. You can fire it once, and then it can fire it again in 3,000 years. It needs the sun to power its weapons. And if it does have lightspeed travel, what's powering the fact that it needs lightspeed travel? I sure hope it doesn't need the power of a sun to power up its lightspeed capabilities, because it's not going to be very effective. Now, as I said, thousands of people have already made videos, and I doubt there's anything I'm going to say that you haven't heard 100 times before, but I'm sorry. I saw this movie, and there's no way I cannot not make a video about it trashing this. Sorry. So again, I'm not expecting many people to watch it or get this far, but this is more for therapeutic and humor value than anything else. So let's deal with this movie, which we get to start at the very beginning, which is hilarious, because I love how vague J.J. Abrams had to make everything just to get this story going. Because Leia finds about the old man who has a clue to the whereabouts of Luke Skywalker. Well, does the old man not know it's a map? Why wouldn't it be just saying, hey, it's not a clue, it's a map to where Luke Skywalker is? It's like, did the old man not know it was a map? Oh, and here's the other thing, okay? The map, we end up finding out, is a portion of uncharted space and incomplete. But we don't find out about that until C-3PO explains it when they're at the base where the resistance is. Why wouldn't the old man have known that from the beginning? So he knows it's a map, but never actually checked to see what the map was? That it was uncharted space, nothing was identified? Wouldn't he have said, hey, Poe, here's a map, but unfortunately it's of uncharted space, and there's no information that's going to be helpful. Wouldn't that information have been useful? Did the old man know it was a map, but never actually checked to see what the map was? And I love how it's in uncharted space. And then I'm obviously going to skip. And then at the end of the movie, you have that circular thing, and then you have like a little piece right in the middle that's missing that the map that the old man had fits in perfectly. So whoever charted this map charted everything except that one particular little section. I love how they charted the bottom part, like that little thin part on the bottom, but never actually the part that they needed in this film. How goddamn pathetic are you, JJ? Really? A section of an already charted area, but for some reason, nobody decided to chart this section. I mean, like, I thought it was a far-off area where no one was ever been at all. No, it's a section that everybody already charted. It's so goddamn stupid. And then we have R2-D2 at the end of the movie, and I'll get to him later. But it ends up being revealed that, because again, I thought when it said uncharted space, it was just a whole vast area of space that nobody had charted, that nobody knew about. But instead, it's revealed with R2-D2 that it's simply a puzzle piece of charted space. Well, if it's charted space, then that means there's charts of it. So why wouldn't the Resistance have access to the charted map? Because if it's charted, then that means there's charts of it. Why did they have to wait until R2-D2 showed them the charted map that everybody should have? Because it's charted, you moron! God, they should have... The Resistance should have easily have... Like, C-3PO said, this is uncharted map. And Leia should have gone, okay, well, let's pull up the charted map that we have and fit the uncharted part into the charted part of the map we already have, because it's the charted map of... No, apparently nobody has the charted map. Anyway, back to the beginning of the movie where Kylo Ren shows up, and how does Kylo Ren know that the old man has the map? And J.J. Abrams doesn't explain that because don't think about it. But then we get to the part where Kylo Ren ends up killing the old man, and everybody seems to have a problem with this, and I'm sorry, I'm defending this, because this is not as bad as everybody thinks it is. Because first of all, we end up finding out later that Kylo Ren is a petulant little child prone to temper tantrums. Like when Rey or Poe escaped, Kylo Ren's just hacking away at the chair. When he gets that bad news, I can't remember from who or what, but he ends up hacking away at the computer control panel. Like, that's Kylo Ren's mentality. He's a petulant little child. And when he was talking to the old man's basically pushing all the right buttons, right? And Kylo Ren, being the petulant little child, just goes into a temper tantrum and kills the old man. And it's like, oh, well, now Kylo Ren will never know where... Killing the old man means Kylo Ren will never know where the map is. And it's like, it's more than likely somewhere in the village, maybe in his, hut. All Kylo Ren would have done after we killed him, if it wasn't for Poe, would have gone, okay, go search his hut. Like, where else would the old man have hidden where else would the old man have hidden the map? He would have kept it with him. He would have had it somewhere in his hut or something. The fact that Poe just happened to come along was just convenient, I guess. So no, I really don't think Kylo Ren killing the old man is as big a deal as everybody thinks to make it out as. But that doesn't. But then we get with Poe, and so Kylo Ren he basically assumes that, oh, the old man gave it to you, which kind of makes sense because you end up finding out that Kylo Ren knows who Poe is, assumes he's with the Resistance, wants the map. So obviously he gave the map to Poe. But then here's where we get back into the stupid. He found Poe on Jakku in the village area, which means if Poe doesn't have it on him, then that would have meant Poe would have had it somewhere in the area, like maybe his X-wing, which the stormtroopers blow up. It's not like they know where the map is. So wouldn't the X-wing been the first place that they check? Nah, let's blow that sucker up. So it's not that it's not without its mistakes. And then Kylo Ren takes Poe, and they fly off into space to the ship or whatever. It's like, well, moron, you got to go back to Jakku because that's the only place Poe could have stashed the map anywhere. Nah, let's not think about that. That's not important. And it's like, no, you mind probe them then and there because you eventually do it anyway. Like you don't have to have them strapped to that special. It's not like that chair does anything except strap them down. So all he had to do was have two stormtroopers hold them down, mind probe them. Oh, the BB-8 has it, but then the movie wouldn't have been able to continue on, which is why J.J. Abrams did it, because he's got no damn clue what he's doing. So again, it's not that it's without its mistakes, it's just that Kylo Ren killing the old man isn't as bad as everybody seems to make it out as. Because again, the map's got to be somewhere in the village. So, now I already covered Kylo Ren with the force powers, with the blaster bolt, so I'm not going to do that again. And I don't really want to get into Finn right now. I'll get into him later when he's a little bit more built up, because we are now introduced to Rey. And so now we end up being introduced to Rey scavenging for salvage parts of a Star Destroyer, which apparently there's two of. So I have some questions. Why aren't they salvaging the metal of the two Star Destroyers? What's Rey finding? All she's finding are these little knick-knack tidbits that we have no idea what the value is or what their use is. But there's all this metal that you're not going to salvage and use for, I don't know, maybe housing, as opposed to living out of a burnt out AT-AT walker or AT-AT walker. You have all this metal. Why aren't you using it? Then you have this little village that's based around these two Star Destroyers. Well, so did the village start up because of the two Star Destroyers? Well, then wouldn't that mean that the village had access to all the electronics, all the equipment, all the weapons, all the valuable parts of the two Star Destroyers, but it's still some piddly-ass little village? But then it's like, well, no, the two Star Destroyers were all salvaged from their parts, and this little village is subsiding off of whatever little scraps you can get. I don't understand why this village exists. And apparently, neither does J.J. Abrams. He just needs some kind of little small village so that we can find Rey. It's just so ridiculous. It's just so inane that it makes no sense. Why is there this village in the middle of nowhere and people are just scavenging for what? You're in a desert. Other than the two Star Destroyers, what else are you salvaging or scavenging from? So then Rey takes all the parts that she has and she brings it to her land speeder. Now, I'm kind of wondering how the hell does she have a land speeder, but probably scavenge it or whatever. But God knows what will happen if any of the parts break down, because I don't know if she's going to be able to replace it or how much that's going to cost, considering all the stuff that she got is worth a quarter portion of whatever packet that is. But then it was like, well, wait a minute. How does she pay for fuel? because I know it's a little bit out of the storyline aspect, but the whole system that this village works on makes no sense. If all of that gear that she brought is only worth a quarter portion of a food packet, how much does fuel cost? Like, I know it's a little out of the range, but it's just like the society that JJ made in this little village just doesn't make any sense. Then we get the food packet. Oh my god, I love this. I love this food packet. So she's at her house, right? Or she's in her little abode, and she has a little cup of water, okay? And she puts the packet into the water, and it becomes a little bun. But in the background, she's got a frying pan where she's made her main dish. So she scavenged all that stuff so that she could have a bun. She's already, like, where did she? Like, all she did was open it up, and the powder came out in the water, and a little bun came out. So that's the only thing the quarter portion seems to be. It's not establishing that it does anything else. She didn't use because you open it up and just little powder comes out. So how did she get her main meal in the frying pan in the background? What's going on? Like, what is this food packet? A little bun that mixes with water? Because that's all I saw. Why would you scavenge all day for all that stuff for a bun? Am I missing something? Because I don't see it. Then we get a shot of the AT-AT walker that she's living in, and the head area has the laser rifles still there. What? Why didn't you salvage that and sell those? Why wouldn't you have taken apart? It's like you got two weapons that you could have easily salvaged. I don't think you're actually using it to protect your house, because you leave your house and it's not like anybody can't just walk in. I don't see any locked doors. And then we have introducing to BB-8, right? And I love the slickness that JJ tried to slip by, because Rey ends up yelling at Tito, the other scavenger, right? That's captured BB-8, and you don't understand what they're saying, because you're going, oh, because I'm thinking, oh, is Rey threatening Tito that she wants the BB-8, she wants it for parts or whatever? No, he just ends up walking away and leaving, and it's like, what did Rey say to get Tito to leave? Because JJ has no goddamn clue how to justify Tito leaving. That's why there's no subtitles. And so I'm going, well, why is Rey trying to save a droid? And then he goes that Tito has no respect for anyone. And it's like, it's a droid. It's not a person. It's a droid. It's the equivalent of a Roomba with, speech capabilities. That's all it is. So why did you save a droid? Because you think it's like an individual person that can... Like, J.J. Abrams doesn't know how droids work in the Star Wars universe. That's the only explanation. Because there was no reason for Rey to treat a droid like it's another living creature. It's a droid. Who cares? Like, you didn't even salvage it for parts. Why wouldn't Rey have salvaged it for parts? Or sold it? It's not like she has any affinity to it. There's no... Oh, it purred. So that's why, you can come with me. And then she goes, oh yeah, but you're leaving in the morning. That plan went out the goddamn window, doesn't it? Then we have Finn rescuing Poe, and then after he rescues Poe, he goes, oh, by the way, do you by chance know how to pilot a TIE fighter? You rescued someone and you didn't even know whether or not he would have been of any value to you, Finn? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. What would have happened if what would have happened if he had freed another prisoner who couldn't fly a TIE fighter? What was Poe gonna do? Send him back? This is so stupid. Then they go, okay, we're gonna figure out how to do this. So they go into the hangar bay where all the TIE fighters are. Now, why wouldn't a stormtrooper bringing a prisoner into the hangar, which contains nothing but TIE fighters, be somewhat suspicious? Why are you bringing it? Why is a stormtrooper walking a prisoner in the hangar bay that houses just TIE fighters? No, apparently that doesn't mean anything. Then, right, he turns and him and Poe go and walk into a TIE fighter. And it's like, there's people all over the place. Doesn't anybody see them going into the TIE fighter? No. See, what happened was, it was a nice tight shot on the TIE fighter, which means you don't see that there's other people around anymore. So that means there are no other people around. Then they get into the TIE fighter. And I'm going, since when are TIE fighters two-seaters? There are no two-seater TIE fighters. And I went, oh my God, now I get it. Because I never understood in the intro crawl why they're called the First Order. And I figured it out because because it's the First Order, J.J. Abrams can now invent whatever he wants. Because it's not the Empire anymore. You can't say that the Empire never had two-seaters, so therefore they can't have two-seaters. But now that it's the First Order, he can make up whatever bullshit equipment, whatever bullshit weapons, whatever bullshit TIE fighters, whatever bullshit, Starkiller bases that he wants. Because it's something new, so we as the viewers and fans of Star Wars, can't challenge it. And it's like, you scummy little bastard. So, basically, J.J. Abrams invented the two-seater TIE fighter just so that Poe and Finn could escape together. It was sneaky, and it's like, screw you, I'm not buying it. But you literally created the new order just so that you can create all the new equipment that's just new to The Force Awakens. And so anyway, they get in the ship, or they get in the TIE fighter, and they fly off, and it's attached to a cable. I don't know what it is, a fuel, a recharge thing. I don't know how it works, right? And no, I can get us out of this. You had no idea, like Poe had no idea that was part of it. How did he know how to get out of it? No big deal. Then we get this one guy in the control room, right? And he's looking at the thing and he's going, there's an unauthorized attempt of departure. And I go, what? You mean if you look out the window and it's right in front of you? You needed a computer display to let you know that what's happening out the window? That was hilarious. And then he's told, okay, stop the TIE fighter from escaping. Hey, out of curiosity, why don't you close the bay doors? Do you think maybe closing the bay doors would help prevent the TIE fighter from escaping? Just a suggestion. I mean, I'm not an officer, so I don't have the knowledge that you have. But I think closing the bay doors would be, I don't know, the first step in trying to, prevent the TIE fighter from escaping. But what do I know? So you see stormtroopers firing at the TIE fighter, and you actually see them hit the wing, but no damage. But, a stormtrooper can fire at, Poe's X-Wing, hit it once, and it decommissions it. But, unless the story needs a ship to be damaged, like, you're literally seeing the laser fire hit the wing and just do not even scorch marks. Okay, a lot happens next, so I had to write it down. So they leave, and Poe goes, we have to take out as many of these cannons as we can. Or, just the two, whichever comes first. The ones that never actually fire on them in the first place. Oh, and don't worry about all the other laser cannons all over the place. It's not like they're going to fire on you until after you leave. And not only that, I swear to God, you actually see a part where here's the TIE fighter, and you see laser fire going this way, not even close to where the TIE fighter is. What were they aiming at? So then, then Kylo asks, I can't remember who it is, if it's the Resistance pilot. And the guy goes, yes. How did you know? How did that officer, whoever he was, know that it was the resistance fighter that left? Because if he did know, that would have meant he would have looked out the window, saw Poe, and not go, why is a prisoner being escorted through the hangar bay of the TIE fighters? So it doesn't work either way. Either he wouldn't have known, or if he did know, didn't question why there was a prisoner in the hangar bay of the TIE fighters. So then they use the ventral cannons, and they're avoiding the ventral cannon. As they're avoiding the ventral cannons, you actually see green laser fire firing around that's not coming from Poe and Finn's TIE fighter. So where's the green laser fire coming from? There's no other TIE fighters. Then, obviously, talking about how Finn was able to shoot everything without any problems goes without saying. That was goddamn stupid. And so the ventral cannon fires 4, torpedoes, I guess. I don't know what a ventral cannon is. I've never heard of it. And Finn ends up shooting one of them, and another one hits the ship. Well, what happened to the other two? They just disappeared. And it was like, what's going on? Does anybody know? Was anybody paying attention to the special effects section on what's going on? Or did JJ go, oh crap, the other two just disappeared. Otherwise, it'll actually hit them and destroy them, and we can't have that. So anyway, I'm not gonna go over the garbage of that plan because it's so. You end up seeing Finn on the ground with a parachute. Did you know that TIE fighter pilots had parachutes and ejector seats? Welcome to the new order, boys and girls, where we can make up whatever the hell we want. So he sees the wreckage of the TIE fighter in the distance, okay? So he has to run all the way from where he is to the wreckage that's over like a dune or whatever. Now, we end up finding out that Poe's ship is on a sinkhole, but doesn't sink until Finn walked all the way walked that entire distance. So it's not much of a sinkhole if you have to stand in the same spot for a half hour, 20 minutes before it actually sinks. It's not much of a sinkhole, JJ, but nice try. So Finn gets to the TIE fighter, right? Well, everything is sealed. How did Poe escape if there was no opening available? Second of all, why was Poe's jacket outside the TIE fighter? And not only that, Finn picks up the jacket out of the fire, and the jacket isn't even burnt or singed or anything. It's like, you gotta make you're gonna make starships out of the leather that this jacket is made of because it's goddamn invulnerable. It just, none of this stuff makes any sense. So now Finn is traveling through the desert and just happens to come across the town or outpost or whatever that Rey's in. What great storytelling, JJ! You're a goddamn master. You really are. And so he ends up seeing Rey, and she chases him down. Now, this is where I really, really liked Finn, because let's Because Finn even says, I had a really bad day. So let's go through Finn's situation here. He's a coward. He wants to escape the New Order. He's being chased down. He just went through... He just walked through the desert. He's hungry. He's thirsty. He's scared. He wants to get off this goddamn planet because he knows the New Order is coming to get him. But a hot chick goes, oh, are you with the Resistance? And Finn's going, yeah, I'm with the Resistance. Despite everything that he's going through, he's got a chance to get in a hot chick's pants. He's taking it. I love it. People go, oh, you end up associating with the characters that you can relate to. I can goddamn relate to Finn right now because, yeah, I have the First Order who's on my ass, but I got a chance to get in this chick's pants. I'm taking it. It's like when a hot chick asks you, are you with the Resistance? You say yes. So then we have the two stormtroopers show up, and then they ask for air support, and the two TIE fighters are shooting at Finn and Rey and BB-8. And they end up running to a jumper, I think, because they want to escape. And then the two fighters have no problem hitting the jumper, right? And it blows up. And then Rey goes, oh, I guess we're taking the garbage ship. And you turn around and, oh, lordy, it's the Millennium Falcon. Yay. Right? But here's the funny part. So, Rey and Finn and BB-8 go into the Millennium Falcon. Now, before they go in, you actually see the TIE fighters shooting at them. So they're right there. Okay? The TIE fighters are already right there. But what happens is, while Rey ends up going to the cockpit and is hitting everything, trying to figure out how to start everything, Finn goes to the gunner area, and he's trying to figure out how everything works. During this entire time, the Millennium Falcon is stationary. The TIE fighters never once hit or fire on the Millennium Falcon while they're stationary and trying to figure out how to work everything. Because, why wait? Why fire on the Millennium Falcon when it's stationary when you can wait till it starts to escape and then fire on it? It's just... Good job, JJ. Brilliant directing. Oh, not only that, we end up finding out that the Millennium Falcon belongs to the guy that was giving out the rations. He left it unlocked that anybody could have gone in and started it up and stolen it. Because all Rey and Finn do is, walk into it. It's already opened, right? So it's not like anybody could have stopped them. And then when Rey gets to the cockpit, it's not like there's any type of security thing to bypass to get the Millennium Falcon running. Apparently anybody could just walk in and just take the ship, and in a town full of scavengers, you leave your Millennium Falcon unlocked and unattended. Good job. So then they're trying to repair the ship and fix it because otherwise there's going to be all this poisonous gas. And a ship appears above them. And I love the fact that Finn has to climb up and scramble, to look up the window that's above him. It's just so goddamn stupid. But Finn recognizes it as a First Order ship, right? And they're going, oh crap, because we're all supposed to believe that, they're being captured by the First Order, that they've been captured. So now they have the new plan of, instead of unfix the poisonous gas, so that we can now fill up the ship with poisonous gas to kill any of the stormtroopers entering the Millennium Falcon. And they go into that little hidey hole thing, right? And Han Solo and Chewbacca show up. How? What? Like, seriously, JJ, like, how are we not supposed to see Han Solo and Chewbacca and not go, bullshit? Come on! Anyway, so we see Han Solo and Chewie, and they're walking in, and where's the poisonous gas? They're walking in without a problem. and then you hear a clanging sound, right? And and then Han Solo opens up the hatch. What made the clanging sound? Was it another part of the ship? And then he goes, "Where's the rest of you?" Because they're all wearing because Finn and Rey are wearing face masks, right? So they're assuming that, the poison gas should be working. But nobody, and then they take the masks off and nobody's dying. What happened to all the poison gas that was supposed to happen, 10 seconds ago, JJ? Did you forget that, the plan was... So then Han Solo goes, "Where's the pilot?" And it's like, well, wait a minute. You mean Han Solo entered this ship that he captured and didn't even check the cockpit to see if there was anybody there? What? Then we have such a bullshit scene. Okay? This is such a bullshit scene. So you end up finding out that there are two gangs that are coming to, because of the problem with they both got investments and they both want the Ranthors or whatever. But so Han Solo goes, "You two hide. I'll bring the BB-8 with me." You're so slick, JJ. Really. Let's bring there is no reason, none, for Han Solo to bring the BB-8 with him. None. Except so that one of the gang members can recognize it. That's what the First Order is looking for. You're so lame, JJ. You really are. It's like, sorry, there's no way nobody caught on to how goddamn stupid you are and how blatant this was. But that's not enough. That's not enough. Then we have the two Ranthors escaping, right? And that's how they're able to escape, right? The two Ranthors are taking out the gang members, right? Then one of the Ranthors, I think they're called Ranthors. I apologize, I can't remember. One of the Ranthors grabs Finn, and instead of eating it, decides to, roll away, holding Finn. Why? What? Like, you had the Ranthor capture Finn, but not eat it. But just decide, yeah, for this particular morsel, I'm going to go run away and hide for some god-awful reason. You're pathetic at this, JJ. You are so pathetic and blatant. So, now they're trying to escape on the Millennium Falcon, and it's a little thing, but Han grabs Chewie's crossbow and uses it to fire at the door so that they can, get out of it. Now, you're wondering, why would I bring up a little thing like Han using Chewie's crossbow? Except for the fact that later on in the movie, Han goes, can I try that crossbow? And then goes, oh, I like this. As if Han Solo has never used Chewie's crossbow before, yet earlier in the movie, grabs and uses Chewie's crossbow like it's nothing. So, it's literally in the beginning, during this scene, it's pretty much established that Han has used Chewie's crossbow on a regular basis. So you trying to establish that later on in the film that this is the first time that Han is, used a crossbow is bullshit. You might want to check out your own movie to know what the hell's going on. But then that's not enough. Because we've already established that JJ has no idea how the Force works. We've also established that JJ has no idea how the droids work. Now it's established that JJ has no idea how light speed and traveling through hyperspace works either. Because not only is Han Solo gonna jump into light speed in a stationary position inside a ship, he's not even gonna bother doing any of the calculations with the nav computer to make sure they, what was it? Fly into the heart of a star or bounce off of a supernova. Nah, that's not necessary. Hey JJ, if you're gonna rip off A New Hope, you might as well watch the goddamn movie so you know what the hell you're ripping off. Like how do you rip off how do you rip off the hyperdrive scene and not realize, oh shit, according to, the lore of Star Wars, it takes a couple of minutes for the Millennium Falcon to get the nav computer to be able to calculate, the hyperdrive coordinates. Nah, not in this movie, moron. Anyway, that's it for me now. I'm pretty much wiped out on this. I'll probably do a part 2 later on, but considering I doubt anybody's ever gotten this far, I probably don't even have to, and I can just go on to the next movie. But if anybody's actually gotten this far and actually cares or wants to know more, or I end up actually feeling like doing a part 2 or a part 3, we'll see. That's it for me today. I'm out of here. May the Force be with you, because it sure as hell wasn't with JJ or this goddamn franchise.